Get ready to step into a world where the unknown lurks in the shadows and the impossible becomes reality. Here, you will hear stories that defy logic, encounters with the unexplained, and mysteries that echo through time. Welcome, but be careful. Some stories are more than just tales. They are still alive. Good evening, Luke, and greetings to all the channel's listeners. I sincerely hope that you are well. I respectfully request that my identity remain anonymous. I dedicated more than 20 years of my life to working at a psychiatric institution, a place where I witnessed events that defy all rational explanation. Even now, at over 60 years old, the memories of those intense and disturbing days remain with me. It was not easy to accept that, amid so much suffering, inexplicable events could manipulate people and even interfere with their minds. One night during my shift, I was assigned to care for a 32-year-old patient whose life had been shattered by a tragic incident. She lost her sanity after a horrifying event in which she inadvertently fell asleep on her newborn baby, causing his suffocation and death. This unbearable loss plunged her into ceaseless mourning. Clutching a blanket as if to hold on to her lost child, her eyes overflowed with sorrow. At times it appeared she was speaking to an unseen presence, a silent witness to her profound grief. Yet what troubled me even more was the recurring appearance of a dark humanoid shadow that seemed to follow the patients. Its origin was inexplicable, whether it trailed the grieving young woman or another troubled soul. The shadow followed them all as if it wielded control over their actions. On several occasions, it even appeared to influence their behavior, urging them to act in ways that surpassed ordinary human understanding. Its constant presence raised unsettling questions about the forces at work within those walls. Another episode that has haunted me involved a 78-year-old gentleman who had been confined for about 5 years after stabbing a neighbor. His case was dismissed in court on the grounds of mental incapacity, resulting in his commitment to the hospital. During his time there, he confided that he regularly heard a male voice inciting him to commit violent acts. Despite his efforts to resist, the relentless voice pressured him, leaving him convinced that he was not acting of his own free will but was being controlled by an external force. This conviction deeply disturbed me. 2 years after that episode, the elderly man passed away. I will never forget the day the forensic team arrived to retrieve his body. As the technicians worked, I saw, quite clearly, black smoke emanating from within his corpse. That inexplicable, disturbing sight forced me to question whether we truly understood the forces operating in that institution. The smoke appeared as a tangible manifestation of something beyond our normal perception, a glimpse into a mysterious realm we had never before considered. These events were not isolated. Throughout my time at the institution, known as UCARI, I noticed that nearly every patient seemed shadowed by that same dark presence. It was as if an invisible force guided their actions, pushing them to behave against their will. In the silent, cold corridors at night, when patients appeared lost in their delusions, the shadow would emerge, subtle yet unmistakable. Even the most skeptical staff members admitted to feeling this strange energy, leaving us all to wonder if we were witnessing a manipulation of the mind itself. Conversations with colleagues revealed that this unsettling phenomenon was not unique to my experience. Many recalled similar incidents, especially during the long, lonely nights of our shifts. Though we never arrived at a definitive explanation, the shared sense of unease was palpable. It wasn't merely the stress of handling severe cases. There was something inexplicable lurking in those shadows, influencing behaviors and decisions in a way that defied logical explanation. For a long time, I sought rational reasons for these occurrences. Some argued that the atmosphere of deep suffering might have triggered collective hallucinations. a shared delusion born of extreme psychological tension. Others believed that these experiences resulted from a complex blend of factors, such as ancient fears, local superstitions, and the fragile nature of the human mind. Yet, the persistent appearance of that shadow and the detailed accounts from both patients and staff convinced me that something far more enigmatic was at work, something that transcended conventional psychological theories. I vividly remember one particularly cold and silent night while on duty in the therapy wing. As I made my rounds, I heard a soft whisper calling my name. I stopped, filled with apprehension, and noticed the corridor lights flickering erratically. In that moment, I caught a glimpse of a fleeting silhouette, a woman dressed in an old-fashioned hospital gown who vanished as quickly as she appeared, leaving me with more questions than answers about the nature of that presence. Driven by a mix of curiosity and a need to understand, I followed the mysterious call, which led me to the medication room. Upon opening the door, I was struck by an unusual sight: chairs arranged in an odd pattern and an atmosphere that felt unnervingly cold. Despite the room's emptiness, a delicate fragrance of roses permeated the air, an anomaly in the sterile environment of the hospital. For several moments, I felt as though distant, sorrowful voices were echoing softly in the corners, deepening the sense of mystery. To this day, I cannot fully explain what I witnessed or the sounds I heard during that encounter. I left the room hastily, yet the lingering sensation that something inexplicable had passed through me continues to haunt my thoughts. Even after all these years, I remain convinced that people do not descend into madness without cause. Often, what appears to be a simple case of mental illness might actually be the result of an external influence, a subtle, unseen manipulation that defies the limits of conventional science and reason. These experiences at Jukari have irrevocably reshaped my understanding of the world. I do not claim that every case of mental illness stems from such external forces, but the undeniable presence of inexplicable energies in that institution compels me to question the nature of reality itself. By sharing this account, my intention is not to incite fear, but to encourage open-mindedness and further exploration into the hidden mysteries that may subtly govern our lives. Thank you very much for watching our video until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Have a haunted night, everyone, and see you next time.